Okay. Are you recording? Yeah, we're recording. Okay. Hi, YouTube. My name's Kyle. I am a mix engineer. Today I am going to do a demonstration tutorial on how to export multi-track audio out of Cubase. I'm using Cubase Pro 9.5. This is the same process you'd use on any version of Cubase 9 or on any version of Cubase 8 for that matter. In fact, it's really the same process you'd use in almost any software, including Ableton, Pro Tools, slight differences in each one of those, Studio One, Reaper, whatever. But a client of mine, Rayshawn, is having some issues getting his audio exported and sent to me. So I thought I would do a demonstration. I did some searching around on YouTube and I tried to find a video for him showing how this is done in Cubase. I could not find a video that I thought was any good. So I decided to make one. I'm going to walk you through it step by step. I'm going to try and be short. This is the third time I've attempted to do this video. I've had some technical problems, so bear with me. This is also my first YouTube tutorial, so take it easy on me in the comments, would you? Jeez, guys are brutal out there, just savages. So we have a project. We're in Cubase, we have a project. We are trying to share this with our mix engineer. We are trying to share this with our local DJ. We are trying to get, for some reason, some elements, all elements of our project out of the project as individual files. We're not trying to mix them. We're not trying to combine them. We are not trying to sum them. We want them to remain separate, and for whatever reason, we need them to be apart. If you're working with a mix engineer, if you're working with a DJ, this is the standard procedure for sharing files to be mixed, files to be chopped up and remixed. The reason being, everything is kept separately so that an individual instrument, an individual verse, an individual vocal element, whatever, can be processed on its own. Once you start putting things together, they really can't be mixed. They can't be separated. They're together. They're one file. So we need them out of this session as individual files. I'm going to use this piano file. I'm going to use this Rhodes file here. Okay. Step one. We have to go and we have to set our time parameters. So I have this blown out so you can see the entire project. This is my buddy Josh back in Milwaukee. He is an awesome producer, does some really cool stuff. He does big sessions. He's working with a lot of layers, a lot of samples. You can see most of his stuff is in stereo, right? You can see that from the double tall waveforms. This bass line is in mono, just the one, versus this guitar, which is in stereo, a left and a right, two. Even this hi-hat is in stereo. God loves stereo. Loves stereo. Drives me crazy. Okay, let's get this stuff out. Like I said, step one, we need to set our time parameter. Our time parameter controls the length of our export. For example, this song is 4 minutes 40 some seconds. If I set this parameter to here, 2 minutes, and I export, I will only get up to 2 minutes. It will cut off. Okay. Also, if I drag this thing and I set it here, it will only give me from roughly 1:15 till 3 minutes 15 seconds. So I want this all the way back at the start. Oh, I hate this thing. Come on. All the way back at the start, and I want it the full width of my song. Done. Doesn't have to be exact, right? I'm a little bit over. That's okay. Okay, I can get real picky with it, but I don't need to for what we're doing. Most people don't. You don't. Don't spend time doing it. Just get it close. One thing to be careful of, do not put this on. This is the loop function. If you export with the loop function on, I can tell you from experience, it will just keep looping and exporting and looping and exporting. And once it gets to the end, it will do it again and again. It's crazy. Don't do that. If it's colorized, it's on. Click on it with the hand icon, turn it off. You want it light gray. That means it is not engaged. It is just setting a time parameter. Make sure that this is dragged all the way back. We want it to start at 0. Make sure that all of your recorded data, any of your waveform data, is between the ends of the brackets. If it's not, it's going to get cut off. It's going to be missed. Okay? So some troubleshooting stuff there. Step 2, make sure your tracks are named properly. Whatever I have these tracks named on the left is how they will be exported. If I take this tom and I label it Audio 37, it will get exported with the title Audio 37. Do not send that to someone. Do not send that to someone unless you're trying to really upset them, okay? Make sure your stuff is labeled appropriately. If it's a verse vocal, label it a verse vocal. If it's a tom drum, label it a tom drum. Label it what it is. Make it easy, okay? Don't use cryptic names. That drives me bananas. All right, also make sure that your playback scroll is all the way at the beginning. You can do that by dragging it, or you can do that by clicking here. Done deal. It does not matter what you have highlighted on the left when you go to export. Doesn't matter one bit. It does matter that you don't have stuff on solo or mute. So for safety's sake, take anything that's soloed off, take any mutes off. You see, I don't have any solos, I don't have any mutes. It's all off. Everything's labeled, everything's within my time parameters. My loop function is disengaged. We're ready to roll. Let's export some stuff. Okay, first step, File, Export, Audio Mixdown. Real simple, right? I think the title throws people off. Audio Mixdown makes people think that it's going to be mixed. It's not. It's just what they call it. Who knows? Cubase is kind of funky like that. Over here, we have information we'll talk about in a second. Over here, we have our track options. We can export multiple tracks at once. We can export buses. We can export auxes. We can export main outs. We can do a lot of different things. We can get very customized with it. We don't need to deal with that today. That's another story. So let's minimize all the stuff we're not going to use so that you don't get confused. We are concerned with audio channels. Okay, your recordings are audio channels. Your instruments, your vocals, what have you. Anything you recorded is an audio channel. Also, anything you dragged or imported in, if you imported an instrumental, if you imported a skit, if you imported an audio effect, that is an audio channel. That's how Cubase sees it. So it should all be here under audio channels, labeled the same way you have it labeled over on the left-hand arrangement window. Okay, you'll notice it corresponds. Here's a snare. There's the same snare on the left. Look at that. Okay, boxes. Boxes tell us which one we're selecting. Okay, in your case, if you're sending your stuff to a mix engineer, make sure all of them are checked. You want everything. Okay, you might see a master in here. Let's see. Is the master in there? No, it shouldn't be. Good. Okay, so you want all of them, right? You want to send your engineer, you want to share with whoever every single part of this. They're going to end up with a folder full of files, 3, 5, 25, whatever you have in your session. Okay, so let's select a couple. Like I said, we're going to do the Rhodes. We'll do, actually, you know what? We'll do it the way I did it before. So here, we'll select the pedal hat and this pad stutter. We want those two things. At the end of the day, you know, we'll pretend our session is 2 instruments or 2 analog audio channels. Big, we have a small session, so that's all I have to export is just the stutter and the hat. Okay, let's go to the left. The rest of this window. The rest of this window kind of determines how this will be exported. The top is the naming structure. Click here, naming options, set to project name. Okay, this should be a match to what you have up here. Why? Because that is going to be how it labels every file before the actual name of the track. So these tracks will label, for example, the name of my session, Light It Up, followed by what it is. It will say Light It Up Pad Stutter. The next file will be Light It Up Pedal Hat. That just makes life easier on engineers. It makes life easy if something ever gets out of a folder and you need to find it. You know what it is. You're not trying to guess. It's like, it's about time, right? Good organization. That shouldn't have to be explained. Second, where is it going? Okay, I click on that. I want it to go. What you should do is you should go desktop, new folder. Artist name, song title. That's what you should do, right? Make life easy on yourself. Organize well. That way, when you share stuff, you know what you're sharing. The person you're sharing with knows what you're sharing. It's very simple. I've already done this, so I'm not going to do it again. But that's what you do. Do it on your desktop. Unless you have a special place for it and you want to get really crazy with organizing, make sure you can find it. Mine is in mixing projects. Mine is called test exports. And here we go. I have told the computer that that's where I want the files to end up. Don't worry about this. Leave it on always ask. What type of file? You should be working in WAV files. Why? Why not? Doesn't matter why. That's another story for another video. Use WAV. Music industry, that's pretty much standard across the board, unless you're working in film or you're working in some kind of other area, but WAV format for recording. All this off, turn it off. You don't need it. That's, again, for advanced use, advanced users doing it for a very specific reason. Make sure it's all off. Audio engine output, good. This, whatever this defaulted to, leave it. Change this only if you can explain to yourself and someone else why you're changing it. You might say, you might know enough to be dangerous and know that this is how you adjust the resolution, the fidelity of your audio, right? But where people get confused is they think, the audio I got or the audio I recorded is 44:1, which by the way is CD quality. Most stuff is still done that way. I want it higher resolution than that, and they select a higher resolution. It doesn't work that way. The computer's not going to, up render, up export, increase the resolution or fidelity of your audio. It can't do that. It won't do that. Don't do that. Don't even bother. It's not worth it. You're not helping yourself. You're just making the file larger and causing potential problems. So whatever this defaults to, whatever you set the session up as, leave that. Leave it alone. This on the right, these three boxes, leave them unchecked. Again, unless you know what they do, don't screw around with them. They can only cause you problems and headaches. So leave those unchecked. Import probably, okay, no, again, unless you know what these do and you know why they're doing them, don't mess around with it. Leave it all off. Post-process, none. Again, we're not trying to upload this to SoundCloud. We're not trying to do anything else with it. We just want to get it bounced and export it out. These two I put on personal preference. That's it. There's no better explanation than that. There's no technical explanation. It's just personal preference. Once I click on export, it is going to export whatever tracks I have selected over here on the left with the checkboxes and send them to the file folder I've selected at whatever length I've predetermined, right? So for the sake of this export, it would export the pad stutter and the pedal hat at full length, the full length of the track, including any drops or dead spots, which is great, right? Because that makes life easy on me as an engineer because everything's going to line up. I don't need you to carve out the dead spots. Don't screw around with that. You're overthinking it. Just full frame, full width, full project. Send me the whole thing. Okay. Now, I've already done this, so I'm not going to do it. Okay. It's kind of like a cooking show in that way. I've already baked the cake. I'm not going to sit here and have you all watch the oven. That's just dumb. So cancel out. We go to the file folder where everything is already exported. And here we say test exports. Bingo, that's my file folder. And sure enough, look what we got. We have the two files that I exported. There you go, pedal hat. Boom, there's the pedal hat. We have the stutter pad. Boom, done. And then if you play these things, right, you play them, it's just the pedal hat. It's all it is. It's not combined with anything. It's not mixed. It's just those individual elements, which is exactly what you should be sending. So now we have the file folder. We have this file folder. We can attach this to an email. We can upload it to Dropbox. We can put it on a thumb drive. We can do whatever we want with it to share it. The hard work is done. The sharing part is easy. This was the hard part, believe it or not. And it's like when you see it, it's super easy, right? I mean, you see it. It took, if I wasn't explaining this slowly, it would have taken me 15 seconds to do this. Literally, 15 seconds. It's very easy. Once you know that you have to do this and this and this and this, and you got to check this, export, boom, done. I have file folders. I can send it. I can share it. I can put it on a thumb drive. I can do whatever. And we're done. So Hopefully that made sense to you. Hopefully I didn't drag on and bore you to death. Again, this was my very first YouTube video. I was just doing as a favor for a client of mine because we could not find a better one on YouTube. And I personally learned so much from YouTube. It's very frustrating for me when you try and find a video on how to do something simple like this and you end up spending 2 or 3 days trying to find a good video for such an easy process. So I understand, I empathize, I've been there. Hopefully this provided some value to you. If there's any questions I can answer, send me a message, put it in the comments. If you'd like to see me do a similar video, I'd love to hear that. You know, I don't know, was it good? Was it helpful? I don't know. Tell me, you tell me. And I'd be happy to do it. If you want to see it done in Ableton, if you want to see some other process done, if you'd like to see some mixing videos, if you'd like to whatever, just say hi. Great, awesome. Let me know. So thanks again for listening. Hopefully you found this helpful, and get out there and make some music. Take care.